Good morning, everyone. Jim Laird joining you live from Grand Pacific, Nicaragua. I know I'm a little late today. I have some visitors coming soon, and I wanted to test out the limits of my solar system. And so I left the ACs on last night, both of them. There's one upstairs, one down here. And I just wanted to see what the system could do. And it failed about 5 a.m. So I had to get everything rebooted and restarted, which I was actually pretty impressed with. So I'm trying to figure out what the limits of it are before I have guests down here. I have a backup battery system, like battery bank that I could have plugged in. I didn't think about that till just now, but so I just waited for things to get started up again. So it's really good. I want to make sure I know what temperature I can run the ACs on at night and still have power in the morning. I have a battery bank hooked up to my fridge. So if I do lose power, my fridge keeps rolling. So that's good. Webinar this week is, let me check and see. I should have checked before and got a little refresher. Let's see here. My apologies. This week, we got some good topics coming up. Training goals, QRST, and therapeutic failure. That's on the 15th at 10 a.m. Eastern. And then the following week, it's mind, body, medicine. The following week after that, allergies, parasites, and mold, and stealth infections. The following week in March, believe it or not, March. And I may be in Costa Rica for that one. I have to check. That is hormones. And then May 14th, it's neurotransmitters. I think I am in Costa Rica for the one on the 7th. So I'll be in Costa Rica and San Jose for that. I got to go do my border run, which I got to do every 3 months. And then neurotransmitters on the 14th. And believe it or not, we'll already be into March. Can you believe that? So what we're going to talk about today, and life, if you haven't figured it out already, is a series of overcoming one challenge after the other. And some people have more challenges than others. There are certainly people that have had a much rougher time than me. But I've had my fair share of challenges. One of them was 2 years ago. It's coming up on 2 years ago when I was hit by a reckless driver. And I was having problems walking, talking, all the things. And, I think a lot of times when people get themselves in a bad situation, whether it's businesses or relationships or health, they tend to kind of look externally and like they start blaming others or blaming themselves, or instead of just owning it and being in the moment. I was like, I really had no control. Luckily I'm still alive, still functioning. So I focused on that, and I was having problems walking. So my number one goal, I think people get overwhelmed with where they're at, and the task becomes really daunting. So you kind of have to make the task doable, right? It's kind of like having I would never run an ultra marathon, but like a 100-mile race, if you focus on the finish line, if you just focus on doing, the first mile, just run the first mile well, run the second mile, and focusing on taking it mile by mile as opposed to like all 100 miles at once. And when I got myself in a bad place, I'm just going to focus on one, getting out of bed, getting down on the floor and crawling outside with my dog, letting my dog do its thing, do its business, and then crawling to my balcony and just sitting in the sun. And I did that for a couple weeks. And then it came to the point where I was like, okay, I can do more than just crawl. I can actually stand now. I can actually walk. And I started working on like my fingers, all the dexterity stuff, which I was having problems with. I started by being on the floor, using a chair to get up, chair to get back down. I would practice that. And I just continued to do that. And I just slowly did more and added more as tolerated. It was very frustrating, but I think if you break it up, John Wellborn, the former NFL player, power athlete, used to be CrossFit football, had a great summary of like training camp in the NFL, like how you deal with all. He was in the NFL for I don't know how many years, but he talked about, you looked at training camp as a big pile of dirt, and some days you're shoveling 1 scoop, 2 scoops, 3 scoops. Some days it's a teaspoon. And as long as you're shoveling dirt, you're going in the right direction. So as long as your heart's beating and your lungs are breathing, you're doing something. You're doing something to go in the direction that you want to go. And until the good Lord takes you away, that's kind of the approach you need to take with these things. And a lot of people get way overwhelmed. So when you are in a bad place, simplify, and then also look within yourself, because most of the time, a lot of the answers to the struggles that you have are going to be within you. And a lot of people will start looking at other places, blaming other people, making excuses instead of taking ownership for the problem. Jocko has a really interesting, Jocko Willink has a really interesting saying, good. We didn't get the equipment we needed. Good. We didn't do XYZ. Good. A lot of these challenges that are in our lives are opportunities for us to get better and grow. I wouldn't be in the situation that I'm in right now with working in a virtual business if it wasn't for my accident. That really accelerated things for me. I'd probably still be training people in person in Florida, which I don't mind. But there's a huge opportunity here to really create something cool, out of the box, ahead of the curve kind of thing. So this kind of fast forwarded this process for me. So I kind of have the glass half empty or half full kind of attitude. Everything I've been through in my life, all the experience I've been through is to prepare me for something else and to get me to be better. And it also helps me help others, because I can understand some of the health challenges I've had, some of the personal challenges that I've had. I'm able to empathize with people and then also give them guidance, and give them stern direction when needed. Sometimes you need a swift kick in the ass. Other times you need somebody to say, hey, everything's going to be okay. Just take it one day at a time. And so that's that just takes time and reading people to understand whether someone needs to be shaken or, given a hug. And that just takes, there's a little nuance there. So there's a really quick summary. So focus on yourself. Okay. Do what you can and just move dirt. Just move dirt, whether it's a teaspoon or a shovel, just move dirt. Like, you got to do something. And as long as you're doing something, and then focus on all the things that you want to do to get your body as healthy and mind as healthy as possible. And that's get outside, drink high quality water, preferably spring water, get outside, like I already said that, protein, get the lights off at night. And then of course, if you should have a couple really good friends that you can lean on. And luckily I had a lot of people that were willing to help me during my difficult time. And I'm very grateful for that. All sorts of people over the years. And, that's the thing too. If you treat people well and you provide value for other people and you get yourself in trouble, you'd be surprised how willing people are to help you if you are in a bad place. Obviously, you don't want to cry wolf and ask for help when you don't need it, but when you truly need help, there's a lot of really generous people out there that will truly help you if you treat people well. Okay. So there you go. I hope you're doing good today. If you're not, just do what you can. Do one day at a time, and try and stay as positive as you can and just move that dirt, and make sure you get outside today. Thanks for tuning in. Give this a like. If you have any questions real quick, I've got some time before I go on to my next little project today. We're getting the online store for the gym fired up. And then of course, all the stuff I do behind the scenes for Dr. Stillman. And I've got some calls today, so it's a good day. I'm happy to answer a couple quick questions if anybody's got any questions, but make sure you get on the email list. We have that topic this week about, what was it again in my brain? One squirrel's working real hard. Training goals, QRST, and therapeutic failure. That's going to be a really good topic. I don't know how we're going to cover all those things in an hour, but we always seem to pull that off. So tune in for that. Get on the email list. There'll be an email going out Wednesday night with a link to register for that webinar or lesson. It's not a webinar. It's actually a lesson. It's actually a part of our Fundamentals of Wellness course with coaching. That is closed right now. We're not taking anybody else new for a couple, like probably till April. I think we're doing a sale with my birthday. We'll take some more people on then. We want to keep the quality of the calls really high and the coaching calls really high. So we don't want to overwhelm the program with people. And that way we can service you better or assist you better and provide a high quality. But you can buy the course. If you go to the Fundamentals of Wellness or Stillman Wellness and you click on join the Fundamentals of Wellness, it'll take you to the course. And if you buy the course, we will discount you the price of the course if you do decide to sign up for coaching, and you will also be notified when the coaching program opens up again. So have yourself a great day. Don't forget to get outside.